device correctly. I was trying to straighten my hat there. Hope you're all doing great. Got a little bit of off the clock time here. Thought I would do a quick stream. First off, just to say hi. How are you? Second, I wanted to try to do it. I was talking to Tom Fullery about supposedly doing live streams instead of landscape mode, but in this up and down version, sometimes hits the algorithm differently. So I figured I would try it this way today. I prefer the landscape mode, to be quite honest. But here we go. Let's see. So hope you're all having a great time. Last you heard me was Saturday, so Sunday, Monday. I didn't put a lot of shorts up. Black Elk's taking a week off to be with his family, so he's got me a lot of stuff from my 24-hour live stream that I'm going to be putting up. In addition, I'm going to try to get back to doing some shorts again starting tomorrow. It's been crazy, a couple days work for me. Nothing too serious, but just busy. General busyness tomorrow. I have a training that I got to go to for most of the day, and then I'll be coming home and hanging out with the family and then doing a live stream from my office tomorrow night. Vertical's dog shit. You're dog shit, Jay. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know. Vertical is dog shit. Agreed. I will be honest, though, it's easier for me in a couple of senses. It's easier to see the chat when it's vertical for me on the phone. And I don't have to set everything up, though it's jiggly because I don't have it set up, so I'm cooler than your wife, Hutch. I refuse to believe that. Thank you so much, Chuck. We are going to be doing a 10,000 stream here, 10,000 subs. A thank you to everyone, so that'll be happening soon. I did a call-in show Friday. I don't know why I don't just do all call-in shows. It's awesome. I enjoy them. I enjoy interacting with people. I think that the audience likes it, likes to have a chance. And it's not a lot of preparation on my part. You just take calls and people talk about what they want and you respond, which is kind of nice. So if you missed it, I played college. I played poker with some lefties Saturday night. I won. Who would have thought? So it'll be defending champ Rob if I play again. But it turned into just me arguing with a bunch of lefty. Do I like the BBC? I don't watch it here in the United States. I don't have cable or anything. Of course, I know you're talking about the sexual reference, but I'm going to pretend to be ignorant on it. But it's always nice. That's usually how debates should be, me versus like 12 lefties. No, they get their participation trophies. Look, so I do want to say one thing about this poker night. I actually feel terrible for Stardust. So if you didn't tune in to the poker night, it was Wazupi, Leader, both lefties that I don't know very well. Tom Fullery, who's a lefty that I do know. Elder Drazi, who's a lefty that I do know. And Stardust, who I guess is probably a lefty, but she does more of like drama streams. Me and my audience were convinced that Stardust was trying to like hustle everyone because she was claiming she's never played poker before. But I legitimately think she's never played poker before. She did not do so hot. And I kind of feel bad that she lost $20 on it. So sorry for that. So, $20 isn't the end of the world. It's not a huge amount of money, but I would have had no problem playing for free if it was people that never had played poker before, because you shouldn't be playing for money, even if it's a small amount of money, if you literally don't know how to play the game. So, kudos to Stardust, I guess, from joining in anyways. But no, it was a fun night. And then I did the live stream or the call-in show Friday. This Friday, supposedly at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be interviewing Scott Horton. Scott, who has written a book about the United States aggression and NATO expansion, sort of leading to conflict with with Russia. So I think I'll be interested to pick his brain over that. I got to confirm that, so it's not absolutely confirmed yet. But that'll be a good guest for the channel. I'll enjoy that thoroughly. And then anything else worth bringing up? That's about it here. Obviously Thursday's Thanksgiving, so I doubt I'll be streaming Thursday night. So we'll do a stream Wednesday. Hopefully interview Scott Friday, and then I'm back to work Saturday. So wanted to get this stream in tonight. I thought that so tomorrow will probably be a call-in show. If you have something that you'd like to call in about, feel free. I don't know how long we'll go tonight here, but I thought we'd talk a little about Trump's transition as I see it so far. Um, some good things, some bad to talk about here. We'll see what your all's thoughts on that is. So there's 15 cabinet positions, which Trump has filled them all out. I don't have that list in front of me. Did I forget to shave this morning? No. Well, let me put it this way. I don't shave every day, so I did not shave this morning. But I shaved last night. That's just how it comes in. No, I don't like Gorka that much. I think he's a neocon. Uh, so let me just give an overview of how I think the transition's going without talking about any specific picks. And then if you all want to get into specifics, that's fine. Um, I had said that I didn't think Trump had a good chance to win. That's based on my belief of what I've seen throughout my lifetime of how corrupt our system is, and that they wouldn't leave someone in power that might substantially inhibit their corruption. And so I thought that they would try to prevent Trump from winning. It looks like the margin of victory was too much, and so they were unable to prevent it, though they certainly tried their damnedest with manipulation through the mainstream media, etc. Um, so now on to part two, which is sabotaging from within the Republican Party, and then part three, which will be using the executive agencies to try to stop Trump from implementing anything that would be damaging to them. I had said that if Trump did win, that's only step one. I anticipate that there'll be a very small chance, just like the first term, that he'll do anything that significantly will hurt the swamp, the deep state, the blob, whatever you want to call it. And so that's where I'm coming from. I still think that a Trump presidency is worth it because I don't think it'll move the ball forward on those things, such as something censorship online. I think that that would have happened much more rapidly under Kamala Harris than it would under Trump, and many other things that I think would be rapidly getting worse under a Kamala Harris campaign or presidency than a Trump presidency. But still, whether it be Trump not understanding the depths of sort of the swamp that's up against him, or it just being too powerful to take something down. That was my initial reactions coming into this. Initially, I was very impressed with Trump's transition. He started to put out a bunch of videos, some of which were talking about like creating this government office of efficiency with Elon Musk and Vivek. I think that's a great idea, massively shrinking the size of the federal government, getting our spending under control. There was talk of needing to rein in the DOJ and the FBI and to go after the career politician or political people in those agencies. I think that's good. So he had a lot of good videos that he was putting out. Then a lot of his appointments, I like the RFK appointment. I think that's someone that will shake up HHS. I like Tulsi Gabbard appointment. I think that's someone that will shake up sort of our foreign policy. Tom Homan was a great pick to sort of spearhead immigration situation. Matt Gaetz, I think, wasn't my first pick, but I do think that he's someone with all of his baggage aside that would have actually gone after corruption at the FBI. I personally would have liked Ken Paxton, who was the AG out of Texas. That would have been my first pick. But then we know what happened with Matt Gaetz. Pete Hegseth, again, they're trying to say that he has all this baggage, etc. I don't know about any of that. The scandal looks ridiculous. As always, just smear someone. But he seems like someone who actually will appreciate our troops and get DEI out of our military, which I think would be positive. But there's also been a lot of bad picks, including the woman that's in charge, the Surgeon General. She looks wretched, which we could talk about specifically. I don't like Gorka. I think he's a neocon. Now, both those positions are seen as more symbolic. I'm not a fan of the Rubio pick. Stefanik, I'm not a fan of that pick. So there's certainly a lot of good, bad, in between in a lot of these picks. And unfortunately, it seems like on specific issues that I think are very important, that we're unlikely, even at the outset, to see any headway whatsoever. Um, Come hell or high water, Trump is 100% in on Operation Warp Speed. Trump is convinced that he saved the world with Operation Warp Speed, and because of that, you are not likely to see any accountability for a lot of the terrible decisions that came during COVID. Maybe the best we could hope for is someone like Fauci going down, but it's just not going to. It just isn't going to. This is not going to happen. This pick for Surgeon General, it's not just that she was a triple masker, wanted to mask kids, blah, 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 blah. It's the most egregious thing that she did was celebrate Facebook censoring vaccine disinformation and said that she wished other social media companies would do that, which they did. That's unforgivable. Well, I won't say it's unforgivable. That is such a black spot that she should have no connection to any government position ever, as far as I'm concerned. Nico Pluto, thanks so much for becoming a member again. I really appreciate it. We'll talk about tariffs as well. So, I mean, it just absolute nonsense. And with that pick, specifically on that pick, I saw some people saying, well, give her a chance. Let's see what she has to say. Let's see how she explains herself. That ship's came and sailed. If you were cheering social media censorship on the pandemic in 2020, 2021, and now you get picked for a major promotion and you're like, oh, let me explain myself. Sorry, it's too late. If you had contrition and if you realized, my God, I'd been duped, I had made a terrible decision. How could I call for the censorship of Americans and celebrate it? What a travesty. I am so sorry. Here's how I'll make sure that I'll never do something like that again. You would have already done it. You wouldn't wait for a promotion and go, oh yeah, what do I have to say now? Sure. So I think she's a terrible pick. Did Vance call for social media censorship? Then that's terrible and horrible if he did it. However, his position isn't exactly being the Surgeon General who's directly responsible for health information, calling on social media to censor health information. Let me see the link though, ML. I guess I can't read links now that I'm on my phone. I was unaware of JD Vance ever calling for censorship of social media. Can you show me where that is? Can anyone else verify that? Did JD Vance celebrate social media censoring people on the pandemic? I'd be interested to read that. So, while we're digging for that. So, yeah, not very promising there. The pick that they had at Treasury, this guy that worked for Soros, I mean, I don't know. I've read that this guy didn't get along with George Soros while he was there. I'll be honest, and I think that we should say this for other people as well. Many of these names people don't know shit about, and they just have hot takes. I'm willing to see information of what people have done in their past career. So I'm not going to get too fired up about this guy at the Treasury. Yeah, I don't remember Vance ever saying anything like that. I think maybe the commenter in the chat was mistaken, though maybe they're right, but I don't recall that at all, him ever having said anything to that nature. Sorry, infamous Luigi. So a lot of these people I don't have any big take on because I know as much as you or anyone else. Other people are pretending that they've known them for a long time. The one pick that I think was probably the most important was Attorney General. And I have like 10% confidence in what I'm going to say here, but I hate the Pam Bondi pick. I can't explain why, really. Uh, I just think that Matt Gaetz represented, he had baggage, and I would have had no problem if Matt Gaetz' name would have been floated out there and people been like, listen, he's got baggage. Why can't you get someone like Paxton that would do similar stuff that doesn't have that baggage? Uh, so I get that, but at least directionally, he was someone that looked like a fighter. Yeah, I know Michigan Christian. I was aware that he criticized censorship, but ML seemed pretty confident that he did exactly what the Surgeon General was doing. Um, so when they bring Gates out and then they throw Pam Bondi in, and instantly you see the Jeb Bushes, the Mitt Romneys, the Lindsey Grahams going, oh, great pick, great. What that signifies to me is they know that she's not going to actually hold anyone accountable at the FBI. And to me, that is the most important thing that could happen. As far as I'm concerned, weeding out corruption at these executive agencies, in particular the FBI, is the most important thing. And it's not enough to, well, you're fired, so then you could go work for CNN or the New York Times or whatever, and then come back at a later date. That's not enough. People need to be criminally investigated. And everything I've read about Pam Bondi, I feel people that are going to bat for her, if you read between the lines, it doesn't look good. There was one guy I saw that was on X that was saying, I've known Pam Bondi, she's a fighter, she's going to do great, blah, 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 4 paragraphs of like, wow, okay, just general fluff. And then was the paragraph, and I made a comment on X about this, that I thought was telling. It said, she's not going to blow up the DOJ. She realizes that we just need to change the culture. Change the culture is code for fire 1 or 2 people and then do jack shit. That's what change the culture means. Change the culture means nothing. And I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. I think she'll be in line with Trump on immigration policy. She'll probably protect Trump, that we'll see, from any sort of investigations into himself. But it seems unlikely that she'll do what's necessary at the FBI. Which means if she doesn't, best case scenario is we have a 4-year reprieve, and then we'll see what happens in the 2028 election. But as soon as the Democrats or an establishment Republican wins again, it's right back to business as usual. That's what it looks like to me. Now, I only have like 10 to 20% confidence in that because I don't really know Pam Bondi. I don't. I'm just looking at sort of what she said and what people are saying about her and the people that are supporting her. Do you really think Mitt Romney is going to be so pleased to support someone who's actually going to, like, take a wrecking ball to the FBI? Do you think he would? I don't. So I could be totally wrong, and I'd be happy to be wrong. But that's my feeling, and that would be the most significant thing. The most significant job would be to go after those. So I think she'll be with Trump on immigration and other stuff, and Trump will be happy with that. I still think Trump's probably like, bygones be bygones. Let's move forward. And I hope that's wrong. I really do. So, but in general, this is what I'll say. I'm not going to get blackpilled about the administration at this point. It's better than the first time. He seems to be picking people that are at least loyal to him, which is better than the first time. He's saying things that are more aggressive about going after the bloated government. So we'll see. I think that both sides are saying, the people that are heavily critical and the people that are heavily supporting, both sides have things that I agree with and things that I disagree with. You know, there's a lot of people like, oh, you know, shut up, man. Trump will have control over all these people. He'll have control over all of them. I don't see why you're freaking out. Well, did he have control over all of them the first term? Because if that's the case, then all the failures are his. I don't want to hear. But John Bolton was bad. But Jeff Sessions was bad. But Bill Barr was bad. Or did those people not listen to him? Right? And then there's the just general, how dare you criticize Trump? Criticize away. I'm of the feeling that now's the perfect time to criticize Trump. The election season was the time to try to get him across the finish line. Now, he's elected. Criticize away. I hate that people, whether it be Trump or any other politician for that matter, they're not infallible. It's okay to say, I disagree with this. I think you're messing up here. The people that are like, oh, you're going to criticize Trump now? Yeah, why not? Now, on the other side, the people that are like, oh, this is all disaster, I don't think so. I think it's much better than the first term. It may very well come out that they don't do anything significant against corruption. That certainly could be the case. But it certainly seems better and more effective than the first term. And, let's be honest, I think a lot of people are sort of speaking out their ass. If you have comments on someone like Marco Rubio, I trust you kind of know who Rubio is. Kristi Noem, those are names that have been out there. But if you have strong feelings on, like me with Pam Bondi, I have to admit, it's sort of just a gut feeling and I'm trying to read between the lines. But I don't really know her. I just don't. And I think there's a lot of people that are just, out there like totally freaking out. And it's like, you're probably just listening to someone else comment. Yeah, Ginger, I totally agree with that. And it's something that I said in the past as well. There's a large coalition of people that Trump probably wants to bring into his cabinet based on who voted for him. Like the labor secretary, who I think looks crappy. She was against right to work. She had mentioned being for amnesty. But I think that Trump knows that unions broke for him. I think Trump truly does think that he's going to be a president for working class people, and he's trying to bring that coalition on board. So he picks someone that they're in favor of. It might not be someone that I'm great with, but if she sticks to just what she's supposed to be doing and doesn't have any say on amnesty for illegals, that's probably not that bad. Rubio, there were traditional Republican interventionists that voted for Trump. Rubio represents that faction. The only group, then you have the RFK supporters. He came through with RFK. And with Tulsi, it's in a similar vein to that. The only group that I feel like may feel like they're getting screwed over would be the libertarians. But honestly, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what the Office of Government Efficiency is about. Now, the libertarians are weird people anyways. I love the libertarians. I consider myself libertarian adjacent, but they're just perpetually pissed off about everything. So there's this feeling that you don't want to create an agency because that's just more government power. I think that's an oversimplification. In general, I agree. You would like to see these agencies be trimmed down within their own agency or completely eliminate whatever. But to have to create another agency to then deal with it, but to me, it's sort of like internal affairs. If the choice is between status quo or creating an office that's going to go into each federal office and say, too much, too much, too much, too much, I'll take the latter. So we'll see. Maybe the Office of Government Efficiency massively pares down regulations, size of government, taxation, etc. Maybe it has no power. We'll see. We'll see. So that's how I see it, though. Now, Taylor brought up tariffs. One of the things I think is hilarious on tariffs is watch the left now make these arguments. This is one of my favorite. I hear this all the time on X now from the left. Don't you understand that if business producers in the United States have to pay increased costs through tariffs, they're going to pass those costs along to the consumer. So you're actually going to pay more for these services. Congratulations! Welcome to small government. We've been saying that for decades. If you tax businesses more, they'll pass that along to the consumers. If you regulate them more and cost them more money that way, they'll pass that along to the consumers. You see? Also, it's interesting they're concerned about inflation now. Where have you been for 4 years? Where were you when you wanted lockdowns and people like me were like, this is clearly going to cause inflation? Where were they? But now all of a sudden they're like, oh my goodness, tariffs, inflation, oh. Now, having said that, I'm not the biggest fan of tariffs. I'm a fan of using tariffs as a political strategy to try to cause other countries that have tariffed us or are doing things that harm the United States to change their policies. And I think Trump's already trying to leverage that, particularly with Mexico and Canada. And he should. If he puts a 25% across the board tariff on every other country, that's bad. But if he uses it as a negotiating tactic to get policies that are beneficial to America, that's good. The problem is, you can't announce if you're only doing it as a negotiating strategy. You can't. It won't work. If Trump would come out and be like, well, chances are we're not going to really do an across-the-board 25% tariff, then countries are going to be like, whew, good, we don't have to change. Now, if you did tariffs and completely got rid of the income tax, what would that mean as far as, I don't know. It would take some amount of time probably for that to play out. But in general, it's just funny to me to see all the people that are freaking out about tariffs. It'll increase cost when you have producers have to pay more. It increases. They'll pass the cost to consumers because they've said the opposite for years. Well, they're suggesting a flat tax as well. Or are you saying the flat tax would disproportionately hurt the working class? I don't know what you're saying there, Taylor. Are you saying tariffs would or a flat tax? Because they're also suggesting a flat tax. Yeah, but Beer 30, that's what people said in Trump's first term. He knows what he's doing, trust us. Up until the last 3 months of his presidency, I was screaming about how shitty Bill Barr was, and I had people coming on saying, trust the plan, trust us. Bill Barr's going to bring the hammer down on all this corruption before the election. Do I hunt? I haven't for years. My entire family hunts, and I have hunted in the past, but because of my work schedule, I just never find time to do it. Family is doing well. Thanks, King Belly. I will have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you. But yeah, that's ultimately my feelings on the transition so far. Polling suggests that most Americans are okay with the transition. Yeah, Trump should go after cartels. I think that he needs to make it clear to the Mexican government, which he's doing with this tariff talk. They need us much more than we need them. And maybe tariffs, in addition to sort of immigration, could also be used on cooperation with going after the cartels. Yeah, Chuck, that's the point, right? And let's be honest, since World War II, with the sort of, security alliance that the United States has been sort of the world police, a lot of the world has gotten incredibly wealthy off the backs of American workers. American workers seem to get less and less of the pie every year. So yeah, if Europe wants to tariff our auto manufacturers, that's okay. It's just what they do. But oh boy, if we do it to them. No interview tonight. It's supposed to be Friday. I'm incapable of doing interviews on Tuesdays or Mondays or Sundays because I'm at work and I can only stream through my phone. So, what else is going on in the world? Um, like I said, we'll do a call-in show tomorrow. I haven't been following the news much this week because my work's been so busy. Uh, yeah, in general, I agree. Smaller government, better. Today is my mother's birthday. I'm supposed to call her around 8:15, so I'll be getting off here shortly to give my mother a call. Oh, uh, Beatu Cam Tactical said is making a reference that he thinks that I like children in an appropriate way. So see you later. I just those sort of allegations will not be welcomed on my channel. So, um, I don't know the Russia's new missile thing. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I haven't looked enough into it. In general, I'm against the idea of escalating against Russia. So tomorrow night we'll do a call-in show. So that'll be anyone who wants to agree, disagree. Thoughts on Destiny calling for the censorship of right-wing voices? Like new or like he has been for 5 years now? I don't know. It's what he always does. He specifically brought me up 2.5, 3 years ago talking about conspiracy theorists like Rob Noor. He's persuasive, and what we need to do is censor all voices on social media, even Destiny. Should censor all alternative media. That's what he said. I then saw he said on a clip that, we need to basically get rid of these right-wing voices because blah, 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 blah. But that was months upon months ago. So, I don't know. Oh, he said to censor Tim and Tucker. And yeah, he's garbage. Tomorrow's stream will be between 7 and 8. So we'll talk about any topic, which I assume will mean 19th Amendment and Sharia law again. We'll do that. Seems to be a running theme. Yeah, Cenk seems to see the writing on the wall. At least somewhat. Reserve your anger for when Trump does something that's actually worth getting angry about. That would be my advice to the people on the left. That's my advice to people on the right as well. If you're just perpetually pissed off no matter what, what's that going to do for you? So, all right, I'm going to hang up off this and call my mother and see how her birthday was. So I'll be on tomorrow around 7 o'clock. I just wanted to poke in. I know it's a short show. You used to see me go like 4 or 5 hours, so half hour, just a little taste maybe. But it was great seeing you all. I'll see you tomorrow between 7 and 8 p.m. As always, have a good one.